everybody, and welcome to the 220. This is episode 20 and the conclusion of the rise and fall of the Shakespeare project. Now, I've done two previous episodes of this call, and when I got to this one, I still had just about 2 hours worth of the call left to trim down, and I trimmed it all down to about the 20-minute highlights. But because I trimmed things down, there's some context that you need to know, and there's some discussion about the formation of the Friends of 220, and there's discussion about bringing back the Shakespeare project, and there's also talk about a alumni mentor program and the possibility of alumni coming together and doing a digital performance. So keep that in mind as you watch this episode. And again, as a reminder to everybody, is I'm switching to a monthly format at the end of January. So episode 21 next Sunday will be the conclusion of the shop assistant call. Who knows how much footage I still have left of that one, because it's been the longest one yet. I probably have like 2.5 hours to 3 hours left. We shall see. Anyway, for February, I have secured an interview with Joy, which I'm really excited about. And I don't know what else I'm going to do next month, but I'm going to try and come up with some other fun things. Other than that, enjoy the conclusion of the rise and fall of the Shakespeare project.
Let's see. I came to CFC. I was living in the upstate in Fort Mill, and that was the first place I had done any theater in high school. And it was, I was pretty down with that. But so once I decided that's what I wanted to do, I applied to. I went big. I applied to NYU. I applied to Florida State. And a bunch of others, and then Charleston was my safe school, and I got into NYU and Florida State, and then my parents told me we couldn't afford it.
You got into NYU and Florida State? Way to go, dude!
Yeah. So we couldn't afford it, so I came to Charleston, and I was super bummed at first, but ended up loving it. Like it was a great decision that I didn't make for myself. But no, Charleston was great. I loved being in Charleston, as evidenced by the fact that I'm still in Charleston. I haven't gone anywhere. I was there from 2001 to 2006, and then I just kind of stayed around town. I did everything else an out-of-work actor does. I was a waiter for a long time over in California Dreamin'. I delivered furniture for a long time. Was auditioning
always performing.
Everything I could. Yeah, everything. Working with Footlight, with Dock Street, with, Village, anywhere I could. I did a show with Pure. And then I kept coming back for the Shakespeare projects. And then finally, and then I was the technical director at the Satilli Theater for a while. That didn't go well, because I have no idea how to do any technical things. But they were desperate, and so they hired me. And then about 8 years ago, that sounds about right. About 8 years ago, I got approached by Keely Enright, who was the producing artistic director at the Village Repertory Company, that used to be based out of Mount Pleasant and then moved downtown. And I'd done a bunch of shows with her in the past few years since I'd been in Charleston, and she said that they were trying to expand their staff, and she liked working with me and wanted to offer me the job of the associate artistic director over at Village, and I jumped at it. Like at that point, I was delivering furniture, and it was the worst thing in the world, just to be in all these rich people's houses delivering furniture that I could not afford. It was horrible. So, quit that job, immediately started working for Keely, and that's still what I'm doing.
The first time I ever saw Robbie act was in the Shakespeare project, was Comedy of Errors. You just have a way of like, he's like, I don't remember past yesterday. You have a way of making me understand it. And you were like one of the first actors that I was like, whoa, I kind of get it. Just with like your cadence and everything you were hitting. I was like, I don't fully get it. I think I'm having a stroke, but I think I do know what's happening.
That's it.
I remember, one of the, and having Evan as that first Shakespeare director, like he's so in love with the text, right? And he talks like everybody does about the text being a roadmap and it tells you what to do and all that. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, that's bullshit. But no, it's totally true. Evan taught me a lot. And then the next year I had Todd as a director in Merry Wives of Windsor for the next Shakespeare project. And it was just like the two of them, while having completely opposite ways of looking at Shakespeare and looking at the text and all that, like they both make total sense. And Evan's right, it is a roadmap, and Todd's also right, you don't have to be beholden to the text. Working with Evan on the scansion and all that and finding that, but then trying to forget all of that and not make it all sound da-dum and put you right to sleep. So, I mean, I think there's definitely a way to take Shakespeare's, poetry and make it sound conversational. And to me, if that's the best way to do it, because if it doesn't sound like I'm just talking to you like I am now, then who the fuck cares? Right.
But that's why the scansion helps, right? Yeah. Or if you understand what the words are. And not only that, but I got to tell you guys, we are living in some Shakespearean times.
So I have a confession to make.
Okay.
Oh God.
I am not a Shakespearean actor.
Same, boo.
You don't like it, or you don't do it well?
Did you?
I don't do it well. You start to learn your strengths and your weaknesses as an actor. We can't do everything, right?
Sure.
And I've done the Scottish play. I've done Romeo and Juliet. The language, like I know how it should be done. I don't have a talent for that kind of memorization. I'm also not a musical theater actor. I am 100% a modern contemporary actor. 100%. I will kick the shit out of Mamet, Shepard, and Neil Simon.
There you go.
And I'm okay with that.
So what I would say is, it is my passion. I when I left the college and I graduated, which I had to walk with English because I couldn't, whatever. So I went to Cali. I joined a San Diego Shakespeare troupe. Came back home, did Shakespeare. Like Shakespeare is jam. It's like my jam. It's like the thing that teaches you how to do so much technically. So what do you guys think? Like, did it change how you looked at things? I mean, we're the only people here, and there were so many people who were on it, and I hate that Todd isn't here. Evan never joins anything, so I'm not surprised. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's lifeblood, Like, what do you guys think about the future of what I think are Shakespearean times? And I don't know if anybody would agree with me. I mean, this is some epic fucking crazy ass shit that we're dealing with. So, like, does this Shakespeare project have a place? Bringing in people from community and alumni and students. What do you think?
I 100% believe that there is a place for students to be able to perform with alumni, faculty, and other members of the theater community of Charleston. Whether that's Shakespeare or not Shakespeare, I don't give a shit. Because I've already told you what kind of actor I am.
I know.
But I would totally do another Shakespeare project show if that was the thing.
Tracks.
I think we learn by doing, and I think we learn by acting with others. And when we have an opportunity to work as a peer, as an actor peer with our faculty and with other professionals from the area, that it just makes students better.
Especially the kids that really want to dive in, and we're so busy during the semester. I mean, if I wasn't painting, I was in it, I was doing that. So these little summer gigs when I was around were the perfect opportunity to meet the people in my community, especially if I had the plan to stay after. Then I'm already starting to know the people. Oh, it was a blast. Yeah. I mean, it's like summer camp or something. I lived on campus still. I was just chilling, and that was my only job.
You know, when I started the Shakespeare project as a student, like that was some of the best things. I mean, in 2003, my first one, like I said, it was 12th night. And at that point, I'd done a couple of shows, you know, with the theater department, but with all students. And then all of a sudden, now I'm on stage with Brent Lang and Wayne Wilson, you know, and I don't think that one had any other community members, but the fact that we had the faculty involved in it was nice. And then the next year, I think I had more faculty and then started to get community members in it as well. And then once I was gone, and the fact that I was able to come back and do stuff with students, with new students, was great. I know that I learned, and I've always felt like this, like, and this is nothing against any classes I took at college in Charleston. But I think you're right, like learning is doing. And so, you know, by my junior year, I had decided that I didn't want to just work with the other students and do shows just with the faculty. Like if I wasn't cast in a show in the fall, I still wanted to do something. So I went out and auditioned in the community. And I know some faculty members frown on that and think we should keep it in, but to me, it was getting the experience. I learned so much more. And again, nothing against the classes, but so much more from the experience of doing theater than I did from any classroom setting. And I mean, I think that's what's hard with theater, because it is one of those things that I think it can be taught. You know, talent can be taught, but it's how you have to do it, and you can only do so much in a classroom setting. You know, it's nice that the college would lay the groundwork for these things, but by allowing you, if the college is also allowing you to work with not always better, but more experienced actors, you know, people who have a different perspective than you, people who weren't trained exactly the same way that you were because you had class on Tuesday where you learned that training, people with different views on this craft. You know, it just made, I feel like having that opportunity made all of us better. You know, it certainly made the students better. And coming back as a community member, I think it's made me better to see what, you know, newer students are bringing to the table. You know, you just can't stop working and can't close yourself off into a bubble like that. So keeping it open to being able to work with as many different people as possible is just, it's a gold mine.
But what was great about College of Charleston was that you got it in the classroom, but you immediately had an ability to apply it, because everything was always open. You didn't get cast in main stage, you went into the community. I didn't get cast in main stage. I was all over 220. Yeah, I was all over center stage. Like white on rice and a glass of milk on a paper plate in a snowstorm. Even in center stage, we had the opportunity to be these crazy creative people, and the faculty really were rooting for us in doing these shows. And I really believe that it was a setting that you didn't get going to some of these other places that were even more strict about not having you go outside, and more strict about, oh no, you're not going to be in a show until you're a junior. Or they had a graduate program and they actually didn't give a shit about you. You just paid the bills for the graduate program.
Shakespeare is mandatory. It's mandatory because it helps you understand so many different things. And I understand why it's not necessarily as appreciated as it should be. But when you see it done well, and when you do it, you know, well, then you get it, right? So I think it's still an excellent training for students. However, it's also an excellent training for English-speaking students.
At least for me, because I'm kind of all over the place, the discipline of like really figuring out what I'm saying. I mean, when I went into the Scottish play, like anytime I had to know myself before I could try to tell you what was going on. So it gave me that research tool. And then as soon as I knew, y'all were going to know it too. And that is the same. Even if I am just looking at RNG or anything, I can really just dive into that more and make sure I'm grounded in that before I, go out there.
I mean, the fact that you guys are on this call now, it's like a preaching to the choir sort of situation, because you felt moved enough to be a part of whatever this weird phone call, Zoom call would be. And Tara and I have kind of taken over it because we're like really excited about this thing that we're working on. I see Allison, I love it. Which is good. I'm glad, because I really want this project, this whole like the 220, the purpose of it is for us all to be able to tell our stories and get to know each other and then do shit together.
So like you find little nicks and I'll have more people that I wouldn't have had. And seeing your guys' passion about it is inspiring, because it's not something that I would initiate. I feel like I'm like you, a little John Paul, where I'm like, everything's great, here are 19 ideas, and then I just hide. And so if I have like people that are still driving it, I'll show up, I'll give back. But I'm not the first on the line to like make it myself. But seeing this and being in this, and hopefully people see our phone call and they're like, I want to be on the next one. And then we keep having them, and then we're back, and then we're mingling with new people. And I think it's awesome.
And not for nothing, but like I had such a different post-grad path than so many of my the people that I graduated with, that like if I had known that it was okay, like knowing what I know now way back when, and it would have been way back, as if that wasn't 5 years ago, but like it would have been great to have conversations, more dialogue about what the future can look like, and wearing multiple hats in theater and wearing multiple hats in film, and just the passion of it all in the first place, like having a strong group of people who want to be a part, and like, let me show you, like, let's talk about this is what this can be. I would totally have thrived so much quicker. Even one thing was just like seeing Robbie as an alum, like being a part of running his own place with, obviously with Keely, and like with the group of people that like getting to see what that was even like, and even a possibility, like, oh, I don't have to just go and find my type and audition for shows and say darn when I don't get them. Like I didn't know, and being able to see all of that, even just a glimpse of it was, which I saw so much more than just a glimpse, but like it was so inspiring. So like to create a group of people who can, one, teach me more about what the future can look like for my career or just my life as an artist, and being able to maybe talk about that with someone who's seeking out those types of things. I would love to be a part of that.
Someone helped translate my theater skills into the real world would have eliminated so much stress. I mean, now, like, if I could sit down with someone and be like, this is how you could take this into production management, or like, Robbie, this is how into this, or you have arts management. So if I had that would have eased a lot, because all of a sudden you're like, only 12 actors make it on stage forever, I'm never going to make anything, or something like that. Like, I didn't get into my graduate program, but if I know you're good at this, so this means this, come on out here and let's try it,
100%, because there's a lot of us that have gone the arts management route and life has been okay. Mm-hmm. We're not one of those. Hey, what do they say? What was the percentage you threw out? That what percentage of people that want to work in the arts actually work in the arts?
Lord, if I know that one, but
well, what percentage
probably I feel like
did you throw?
I just said like 12 people act.
Oh, 12 people. I mean, the percentage is like 5% of those who.
I actually have to run out. I hate to say it, but it's.
Oh, Allison, you've been so sweet.
Thank you.
And love to New York.
Thank you. It sends love directly back, and I really am excited to keep hearing from this.
I am. I want to work with you.
Yes, I'm all in. So keep me posted, and I'll see y'all again soon.
Okay.
Wow. I love you, sweet girl. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
We did this. Like, you guys did this. Like, I just joined you, and like, I miss having Shakespeare with everybody involved. But what I will say, though, is that what he is trying to start is huge. So we are going to need, a lot of people to help us. So
Well, I'm in.
I heard my
You
name.
made this fun enough.
What were you saying?
We can't repeat that for
Nothing.
legal purposes.
Robbie and Brenda, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I love the fact that I've had an opportunity to meet you. I hope that we can continue to get to know each other. I love you. I'm proud of you. This is great stuff. Right?
And I want
Yes.
27 people on the next Shakespeare call.
Do you know how fucking hard it is to deal with 27 people on one of these calls?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Quality,
because
not
I, you know,
Listen,
I
it's
tell.
better when it's only. The best is when it's only 6 or less people.
Yeah.
4 to 6, because then we can actually talk about shit
Yeah.
like we did tonight.
All right, thanks, guys. I gotta head out. But
Hey,
stay posted.
John
got my
Paul,
email.
can you stay
Email.
around for a second? I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'll stay around.
Secret
Thank
meeting.
you.
Have fun.
Great to meet you. Robbie,
Bye,
I want to
kid.
perform with you. Oh, he's gone.